I said, our featured speaker today is Marty McCoy, and he's with the Real McCoy Financial Group.
Very good.
All right, and he is a financial advisor. You guys don't know this about me, but I dabble in that area also. And he and I have had discussions, and we're on the same page when it comes to these kinds of things. So you're going to hear some good information today. And then I'll also let you know that he's also going to be repping health plans for less. But for the purpose of today's discussion, we're going to talk about how to plan for your retirement. Let's give it up for Marty McCoy.
Very good, very good. Very good, Doug. Impromptu. This is all impromptu. When I got the call last night from Brad, that was impromptu. So here we go. All right. Basically, when you start a retirement situation for yourself, I'm going to write this down. This is how I introduced myself. Losses. Taxes. Just want to drill this into your heads. Fees. Oops. And we have, what do we have out there? 401ks, right? We have IRAs out there. There's 457s out there. You know what those are? Gosh, I'll tell you. There's 403s out there. There's 400 everything out there. They're government cocoons, calm shelters, calm structures. And what have we been taught to use underneath them? Anybody? Mutual funds, stocks, and bonds. Okay? There's a saying by Warren Buffett. When you get gains, when you make money, number one rule, don't lose it. Number two rule, refer to the first. That's Warren Buffett, most successful investor that's ever been out there in the investment field. So I'm going to focus on losses. Okay. I haven't used this thing. Let's see here. Okay. Well, oh yeah. Okay.
Sorry, guys, say that out loud.
The traditional system out there, we've all been taught it, is to use mutual fund stocks and bonds to build up our retirement, to get the market gains, to stay ahead of, what's that, rascal?
Inflation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to get you to participate a little bit. Okay? So, the traditional system works like this with those 400 government cocoons. I'm going to write down traditional, if I know how to spell it. Okay. Okay. That's the traditional system, using mutual fund stocks and bonds. And we're trying to, anybody involved in this system, and only 2% will follow it, 98% of the people do something different, 2% of the people will get a 7% compounding average from the market over a period of time. Now, what is the reflection of the market? Anybody ever heard of the S&P 500 index? Okay. That's the market. All financial experts, financial planners, certified financial planners will tell you the S&P 500 index will give a reflection of the market. What happens with 98% of the people when they're trying to build up for retirement is they go ahead and they get in pretty much at the wrong time. Okay? And then something in the world happens. Obama gets elected. I'm just kidding. If anybody's elected for, voting for Obama. Nonetheless, something negative. Okay, either way, something happens negative in the world. And the S&P 500 or our markets go down. What happens with people? 98% of them. They panic. They go, what the heck's going on here? And they retreat. And they stop putting money in after that. So these people here that are going in, out, stop putting money in, they end up averaging 1.9%. The system can't work based on that loss scenario. Human behavior doesn't like losses. It's the biggest negative, again, losses, taxes, and fees, that affects our retirement accumulation. Okay, what can be done? How can 98% of the people do a better job with the retirement without this constant going in, retreating, stop putting money in? Why put in good money after bad? I can't blame them. Who can blame them? I used to do the same thing. We've all been trained, I call it brainwashing, to use mutual funds, stocks, and bonds underneath the government cocoons, which are for the government and the brokerages. It's as easy as that. One point, I won't talk about fees. I don't have enough time to talk about fees. Okay, what is a system besides the traditional situation that will be more fun? Thank you. I need that, Brad. Thank you. Okay. There's a system out there called indexing. Anybody ever hear of indexing? Not index mutual funds. Indexing. I mean, I've had some one-on-ones with people here, and they know what indexing is. Indexing is a concept created by certain administrators. I won't tell you who they are. I'll tell you later when you get together with me. Okay. Particularly you, Ben. Particularly you guys. Anyway, indexing is a concept. You're looking at the S&P 500 index still. It can be other indexes. Basically, when the market goes up, the 2% of the people that get all the gain, they go from here to here. Indexers, people participating in indexing, will get, experts will say, indexing experts will say you'll get 80 to 90% of the gain. I'm going to understate that. I'm going to say 75%. 70 to 75%. So the indexer, here's the indexer. About right there. He gets 75, it can be a she, of course, 75% of the gain in exchange for never going backwards. Can't go backwards. The administrator builds in a stop loss, a safety net, call it whatever you want. You don't have to do anything. Just let it stay, let it keep going, let it keep building. And what happens when a negative thing in the world that we have no control over happens, the people who are in the 2% that will stick with the traditional system, they go down. Who knows, 30, 40, 20, 60%. Maybe one day we may even see 70%, who knows. Yet the indexer stays level. He made zero. Zero's good when everybody else is doing negative 30, negative 40. Okay, when the market, what is it? When something goes down, what happens afterwards? Let's come up. Okay. So we have a recovery. And usually, I can always predict when there's going to be a good gain in the market after a big down. Real simple. When you have a big down, you're going to have a nice up. So the people who are in the system, the traditional system, fully, they're recovering. They're trying to get back up here. The indexer, remember, excuse me, I knew that was going to happen. Remember, always gets 75% of any gain. Any gain that happens. So what happens with the indexer here? He goes up. He gets 75% of that. Let's say about right there. There's his new guarantee. Can't go down. So what's nice about this indexing system and why I'm so passionate about it, because I used to help people with the traditional system, and I wasn't helping them. I thought I was. I wasn't helping myself either. So basically what happens is that people, they get into indexing, and they have fun with it. They like it. They feel good. They feel safe.
They sleep at night.
They sleep at night. They keep putting in money. And they don't retreat. They actually have a better chance of, instead of averaging 1.9%, averaging the compounding rate of 7% to stay ahead of inflation. And that's what has to be done. Retirement's not only about accumulating money safely, and notice indexing is an accumulation process. It is not an investment process. It is a depository process where you're just waiting for the gains of the market. Sounds good, doesn't it? It sounds good to me. When I almost left the whole financial world until I was introduced to indexing. Okay, so I'll end it with this and then open it up for questions. Basically, with indexing, I'm going to talk about the three negatives: losses, taxes, fees. The traditional system has all three, and they escalate as your balances go up. Okay? It is mathematically impossible to replace your income with the traditional system. The traditional system is for turning a dollar into 1,000. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. That's wealth building. And when you win, take a good chunk and put it into an accumulation process. And what's even more important, during the distribution, you don't have the losses, the taxes, and the fees. We can get together on that to further elaborate. Okay, I'm going to open it up for questions. How are we doing with time, Brad?
You got about 30 seconds to
Okay, questions?
What's the minimum I need to start this program?
Okay, for all of us here, I'm going to say a good bite to get going in. You know, we're young people here. We're not in our 20s, okay? Yet a good bite, a good sum to start with, $500 a month. I'm just encouraging that, but if $300, $200, $100 a month, whatever you can put away, you know, hopefully everybody's putting away money. You know, the first thing you have to do is put money away. That's the first thing you have to do. Even if you don't use indexing, you have to do something. Next question.
Did you say pay yourself first?
Pay, that's the best budget. Thank you, Christine. The best budget in the world. Pay yourself first. Pay your taxes. How much taxes should you pay? As little as possible. Thank you. And live on the rest. Any other questions?
I just want to say that what this does, it takes losing off the table.
And people, the opportunity of opportunity is not, the opportunity gains are nowhere near as strong as when people think about losses. It affects human behavior. I am really a financial behavioral specialist because I know how human beings behave. Any other questions?
What brought you this? Where were you before you just...
I was doing the traditional system thinking I was helping out. I thought I was doing a great job for me until I found out the traditional system, and that's where I prove it by numbers. I show people numbers. Mathematically, you cannot replace, I'll say it again, replace your income. It's impossible with the traditional system. Why? Because of losses, taxes, and fees. Any other questions?
One more.
Mom, is that correct?
How long has the indexing, is it something new or
It's been around about 30 years.
30 years?
I'll say, yeah, 30. Would you say that, Brad? About 30 years.
What is a safe place to go for investments?
Investments?
I mean, with this,
Remember, this is a depository. Okay.
Well,
I had to correct you, Ben, now.
deposit to where?
Where do you deposit?
Give it to an agent money.
Ben, you're going to come. We're going to get together. It's for me to know and you to find out. Okay, any other questions?
If you have further questions, please, by all means, tackle Marty.
You know where to go.
Yeah.
I'll be ready for your tackle. Thank you very much.